The idea for Midnight Snack came after we had looked at the briefs. We initially started off with the concept of a city parkour game that had you playing as an animal character, a raccoon, which they're common to open-dwelling animals, so they seemed like a good option for that.
It was definitely difficult to develop a game for such a limited input, but I would say it was also a good challenge for us. So what we did at first was develop a prototype. By the time lockdown came around, we had a pretty good prototype running, which meant that we could focus on the core of the gameplay.
The prototype also let us check in with our client and see that they were happy with the stage that we had progressed and felt that we were responding to the brief accurately. And they gave us some really good feedback at that prototype stage that gave us the security to continue with development, knowing that we were heading where we should.
So in the pre-production process, I mainly had to think about what animations would be in the game, and that kind of went hand in hand in what mechanics would be in the game. And so it was a lot of working with our programmer and just a level designer as well, and just being like, how would the game actually work and how would the animations bring the game to life.
So during production, we began creating all the 3D assets, and we created them in Maya, and then we had to import them into Unity. We also did the UI, so to create a lot of 2D assets, keeping a consistent style.
Initially I would sketch out things and then kind of get feedback from that and how imagine how that would feel for the player. It was just a bunch of grey boxing and just refining the levels and stuff like that.
So eventually it came time to put all the different assets that we've made, put all the different code, put everything together, which was really challenging but also really fun to see finally the work come together. And at that point it became really crucial to test all the time. So we had specifically one person to test all the time, and we had several testing days.
Working on Midnight Snack has taught me a whole bunch of new techniques and has really increased my level of skill as a programmer.
I've learned a lot about coordinating a lot of different people, how important it is to figure out pipelines and how important it is to have a system to stay on track.
The main thing I learned during this was that there was quite a bit that actually went into the transferring of the data and also putting it into the game itself.
Huge learning curve, I guess, finding out new programs and collaborating.
It was great to be able to learn how to apply my skills to a different medium.